Hello, my name is Johnny Mowlem, and Lookers have very kindly invited me down here to Jaguar's Electrification Centre of Excellence to test the Jaguar I-Pace and find out more about the car that's changing people's perception of electrical vehicle technology on the roads. So Giles, before you talk us through this wonderful Jaguar I-Pace behind us, perhaps you could also explain a little bit about the background to this electrification centre that we're in.
Yes, so this electrification centre is part of the overall Jaguar customer experience, and it's designed to introduce the new technology to our customers.
And do you feel the tide's turning when it comes to electric vehicles now on the road?
Definitely. With cars like the Jaguar I-Pace and the publicity that they're getting, it's definitely switching people on to the idea of an electrified car. That you can see now that with the range that you can get out of this car, that really there is no sort of compromise. And with the increased costs and the government direction, I really do think that people are now far more switched on to the idea of driving electric.
And what is the range, if you don't mind me asking? Genuine range.
So our certified range, so we have what we call the WLTP, is 292 miles. Real world range, we like to call, is in the area of about 240. I mean, I have had colleagues who have been getting up to 270 miles out of their car. And also, generally speaking, electricity is cheaper to buy than fuel as well. I can fill my car up for no more than around about £6–7.
And around a racetrack, what kind of range do you think I'll get out of it later?
Well, the important thing is you better get around the racetrack, because what we've done with this technology is that we were adamant that it's reliable and repeatable. Because one of the things about batteries and the motors is they can suffer from derating, which means that the performance can drop off. But we've designed this car to ensure that that doesn't happen.
I see more and more power points for charging your electric car. Are you finding that it's very easy now to just go around and fuel up?
I have a charge point at home, I charge a car overnight, and I don't have to think about it from Monday to Friday. When I want to go further afield, then there is an element of planning involved. And for that, we do offer our own apps to allow the customer to do that, as well as having all the information on our EV navigation system. And with fast charging as well, it's not that you need to plug in and wait for hours and hours.
So Giles, how do you feel that this car compares to other electric road cars in the market?
It was really important when we were developing this car that it had to drive like a Jaguar. So you really need to think of it as a Jaguar that happens to be an electric car, and not an electric car that happens to be a Jaguar. So it's really, really fun to drive and really dynamic, and it ticks all those boxes, and you'll love it.
So I guess there's only one way to find out how good this car really is. Let's go and try it on a test track. So here we are at the Fen End Jaguar Land Rover Proving Ground with the lovely I-Pace behind me, a little bit more of a motorsport environment. And Jaguar are really at the forefront of electric vehicle technology and proving their credentials in motorsport with Formula E, with the Panasonic Jaguar Racing Formula E team, which is really on an upward curve. Ever since we started today, people keep mentioning 400 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. So now's the time to find out what it can really do. This car has got so many gadgets, incredible. You've actually got options for high regen and low regen, and basically what that means is the high regen, if you lift off the throttle, you can feel how quickly, I'm not touching the brake at all, you can feel how quickly that car's slowing down. It's quite incredible. If you change on here to low regen, then when we come out of this corner and I accelerate and then lift, you'll suddenly see that the car carries on coasting more like a normal petrol engine would. And then down here you've got your suspension modes. I've got it at the moment set on dynamic because we're actually on a test track, so I thought we might as well stiffen up and lower the suspension as much as we possibly can. But if you want to change that when you're on the road and make it more comfortable, you can actually raise the car up slightly and then soften off the suspension. So I have to say, I'm not just saying this genuinely handles really, really well. I was like nearly 100 miles an hour through that corner. little bit of tyre squeal, the rear just stepping out ever so slightly actually. That surprises me, that's quite good. That shows that this car isn't just an understeering car by which when you go into a corner too quickly, it ends up just pushing on in the front. It actually shows this car is well balanced. You can use the weight distribution of the car by lifting on and off the throttle to actually get the car to grip on the front or grip on the rear when you need it to. It's incredibly smooth. It's doing 115, 116, 118, 120 miles an hour coming down into the banking. So we'll have a nice thorough brake here and we'll go into the banking and you'll feel the car being pressed into the actual, because you're getting sort of longitudinal G rather than lateral G. So you can see as you're going through here, car really riding that banking very well. So also this has obviously got traction control system on it. Like most road cars, you can't, at the moment anyway, in this one, turn it off completely. You can just reduce it quite dramatically. You've also got lane control. So many gadgets on this. Heated steering wheel. I mean, what more can you ask for? Braking, down into the banking again. Go into the banking quite quickly this time. Keep it quite low. Let the car drift slightly up on the exit. Really nice. At the end of the day, this isn't a supercar, this isn't a sports car, this is a normal road car. Relatively heavy. One big advantage, it's got a heavy battery in it, but that battery is very, very low down, so you can feel the way this car corners, that the weight distribution of the car has got a very low centre of gravity, and that in itself, on a track in particular, really manifests itself in really positive handling. So as you notice, when I was going into the corners quicker, I could turn the nose of the car in, get the nose in quite easily to the corner, and then the rear would just move slightly and it wouldn't understeer. And that is quite a common trait for most road cars. This car, the chassis, the handling, centre of gravity really lends itself to a nicely handling road car, very nicely handling road car. All the electric on top is just making it phenomenal. It's like silk to drive. Really, really great. There's always a difficulty. You take any road car onto a test track and it always feels a little bit underwhelming unless it's an amazing supercar. This car, genuinely, even though I've actually got a test track that's basically two straights with a hairpin at each end, actually feels really enjoyable to drive. It is quite incredible. And I'm not just saying that. So I hope you'll agree that with the I-Pace, Jaguar have really injected a fair degree of cool into the electric car market. It's fast, it looks great, it's economical, and with the government plug-in grant, it could be your next car. Now, let's see if I can fit in one more fast lap.